Everyone in my city remembers the seafood city that suddenly shut down. The official story was simple: multiple health code violations. News articles mentioned spoiled food, pest infestations, broken refrigeration, and unsafe conditions. The county ordered the store closed immediately. People assumed the building would be cleaned up and reopened. It never was. For years, the parking lot sat empty. The signs stayed lit every night. Nobody ever saw cleaning crews go in. Nobody ever saw dumpsters leave. It was as if the store had been abandoned the moment the inspectors walked out. Curiosity got the better of me. One Friday night, my cousin and I slipped through a gap in the loading dock fence. The front doors were chained shut, but a receiving door hung slightly open. Inside, everything was exactly where it had been on the day the store closed. Shopping carts blocked the aisles. Half-full baskets sat beside the registers. Produce had turned black. Milk cartons had burst open long ago. The seafood department. I wish we hadn't gone over there. The fish counter was still completely stocked. Nothing had been removed. Nothing had been wrapped. Nothing had been thrown away. Yet somehow, there was almost no smell. Just a strange silence. Every refrigerator case was still humming, even though the electricity to the building had supposedly been disconnected years earlier. My flashlight caught something written on a whiteboard in the seafood prep room. Do not clean after closing. Below it, in different handwriting, someone had scribbled, "It doesn't like being disturbed." My cousin laughed. He grabbed an old broom leaning against the wall and swept a pile of dried debris into a dustpan. The moment the broom touched the floor, every refrigerator shut off. At once, the silence became unbearable. Then the store's old intercom crackled to life. "Attention associates. Static. Cleaning is not authorized." We stared at each other. The power wasn't supposed to be on. The lights above us flickered one by one, stretching farther down the aisle. Something moved at the far end. It wasn't a person. It looked like a store employee wearing a faded Seafood City apron, but its body was covered in layers of dust, cobwebs, and dried stains, as if the building itself had wrapped around it over the years. It carried a yellow mop bucket. The bucket was completely dry. It slowly shook its head. "No," it whispered. "You, leave the mess." Behind it, more figures stepped out from the aisles. Cashiers, stokers, managers, all covered in years of untouched grime. Each one held cleaning supplies they never used. None of them blinked. My cousin dropped the broom. The figures all looked down at it. Then, in perfect unison, they smiled. We ran. Every exit we reached was chained shut from the inside. The only open path led back through the seafood department. As we passed the fish counter, I noticed something new. The ice wasn't melted anymore. Fresh fish lay neatly arranged behind the glass. They looked like they'd just been put out that morning. A price tag slowly printed from the label machine. It read, "Special today. One janitor." I grabbed my cousin's arm and pulled him toward the loading dock. We burst outside and never looked back. The next morning, I searched online for news about the abandoned store. Every article about the health violations had disappeared. According to the internet, the location had never closed. Last week, I drove by. The parking lot was still empty. The windows were still covered in dust. But through the front glass, I could see someone slowly mopping the floor. Not to clean it, just to spread the dirt around. As if the store was making sure it would never be clean enough to reopen.